what's up? Happy morning. Happy morning. Can you tell it's a morning? I can. Stupid Mondays. What's happening, everybody? It's Viktor Wilt here doing it live. As is typical on Monday. Mad that the weekend went by way too quickly. Mad that I didn't get enough sleep last night. I don't know, I went to bed at a reasonable time. It's just, trying to get up on a Monday. It can be so brutal. And isn't it, okay, I think 2 weeks or so till the stupid time change? I don't even want to think about that. That's the worst Monday all year when you lose that hour. Well, we're trying to make it a little bit better. We got Make the Switch back, giving away a Nintendo Switch 2 bundle with Brent Gordon Law. Super easy to get in to win. Sign up in any of our apps, the K-Bear app, the Alt app, the Cannonball app. And then you can also listen for the Mario Sounder. If you hear that played, then be caller number 20 and we will get you an extra entry into that drawing for the Nintendo Switch 2 bundle with Make the Switch. So thanks again to Brent Gordon Law for teaming up with us on that. Be playing that Mario Sounder throughout the morning show. But in the meantime, you can sign up in the apps. And 1 week from Friday, we will draw a winner for that Nintendo Switch 2 bundle. So, got that going on all week. And quiet day in the office today. I think most of the staff was out for the Bad Omens show yesterday. I did not go because I went to the Ian Munsick show at the arena Saturday night. Didn't want to, do 2 shows in a row and be, a complete wreck. Wanted to rest yesterday. But my wife's a crazy woman sometimes. Wakes me up at 6. She's like, gotta make chili for everybody at my work. It's like, well, where did this plan come from? Thought the plan was sleep in. So, yesterday morning, go. Got a good nap in, but boy, hoping for a good night sleep tonight. And hopefully a quick day of work here, because I have had enough already on a Monday. Anyhow, we'll crush it down together. We're going to have fun. Hopefully some good stuff to talk about. We'll see. I would imagine a good portion of our audience out this morning because they're sleeping in after the Bad Omens show. Sleeping in, sounding pretty good. Maybe I'll get to sleep in this weekend. We'll see. It's just been busy. And still didn't even manage to accomplish anything around my house. I don't know, another one of those weekends that just bam, over in the blink of an eye. But it was good. It was fun. Went to a country show on Saturday at the arena and got to meet the headliner, Ian Munsick. He's a sort of local guy. He's out of Wyoming, and he's a really nice fella. We had a really good time at that show. It was really fun. And then a chili mayhem yesterday, and then all of a sudden I'm back here in the office. Like, where did the weekend go? Gotta be kidding me. But that's how weekends go. And what do we got going on for this week? Is there anything that could potentially drag me out of town? Probably, because there are so many great concerts coming up. I was talking with a couple friends yesterday. They're like, dude, you got to go to Black Label Society. I'm like, all right. I mean, they're a great live band. Okay. That's coming up fairly quick, about 2 weeks. But then you got 9 Inch Nails the following week. And it's like, it's a lot of Salt Lake. I don't know. Sorry, I'm just tired this morning. Let's see here. What else is coming up? Necrogoblicon, Filter, The Browning, Hawthorne Heights. Nothing More is playing the same night as 9 Inch Nails. You got Testament coming up, Burials, The Devil Wears Prada. Oh, Lamb of God. It's pretty much an excuse to go out of town like every weekend. But, why can't I have a helicopter or a nice jet to just get me down to Salt Lake a little bit quicker? And some, cheaper gas in general. That'd be great. And then, I got other plans too. Okay. I'm just going to quit thinking about plans. Too early. Gotta get my brain in order. So find yourself something fun to do. Check out the event calendar at kbear.fm. Just click concerts and then select event type concert/rock. You can find out about every show coming to the area. Go check out something good. Hopefully those 9 Inch Nails ticket prices will come down a little bit more. Still a little bit steep for my taste, last I checked. Morning, people. It is Monday. We are surviving. We're making it through. At least it's supposed to be nicer this week, isn't it? I guess we could pull up the local forecast for those of you listening elsewhere. Sorry. I know it doesn't really apply, but I got to know what I got to deal with around here. Let's find out. Go to the old 10-day forecast. Oh, yeah, today's looking great. High of 47. Not too shabby. It's supposed to get up into the 50s. Heck yeah. All right, I'll take it. At least we got that going on. You know, it might be Monday. Might rather be in bed right now. Might not be feeling it, but at least the weather's going to be decent. And if you're not feeling it, this is probably not the thread for you. What's a harmless sentence that instantly raises your blood pressure? That's a great thing to read through on a Monday, huh? I'm a glutton for punishment. Like, all right, let's find some aggravating sentences. See if I can get myself worked up at 7 o'clock. All right. Oh, the first one. All right, I'm just going to take your blood pressure now. That does tend to raise the blood pressure, doesn't it? Oh, geez, am I going to be fine? Oh, this one, yeah. I need to talk, or we need to talk. I'm like, okay, can we just do it? Let's get her done. All right. Or how long do I need to wait to talk? All right. What's this about? We need to talk can be a brutal one. Let's see. This person says, I was just joking. Don't take it so seriously. I guess that one would depend. That one would depend on what was said previous. Calm down. A lot of people don't like to hear calm down. Again, depends on what happened prior. All right. Everything happens for a reason. I'm not a fan of that one. Life is chaos, all right? Sometimes a bunch of bull crap happens for no reason, all right? It just does. Don't tell me everything happens for a reason. All right, another we need to talk. Let's see here. Okay, Peaches, I know I've heard him complain about this one. If you're a tall person, do you play basketball? All right. Okay, if somebody starts a sentence with, I don't mean to be blank, but yeah, I had one of those recently. Someone was like, hey, I don't mean to, I hope I don't offend you with this, but blank. It's like, you know, if you're saying, I hope I don't offend you with this, that you're probably going to say something that's going to piss me off. All right? Guaranteed. If the potential for offending someone is there, maybe just shut up. You know? Just something to keep in mind. All right? Okay, you can have your opinion and I can have mine. All right, yeah, maybe if you're talking about, like, what's the best cheeseburger in town, but sometimes an opinion is like, okay, well, you're having an opinion on something that's factually based. All right? You can choose to put your head in the sand, but it's not really an opinion. You're just choosing to be ignorant. All right, let's see here. I mean, really, the harmless thing that instantly raises my blood pressure is when the alarm clock goes off in the morning. It's like, no, I don't want to get up. Want to sleep. Sleeping's good. Maybe tonight. We got a caller? All right, let's see what they want. K-Bear, you are live on the show. Please keep that in mind. Who's this?
This is JD. Who's this?
This is, you know who this is, JD. It's too early for this.
It's Ravonda. It's Ravonda's man.
That's right. So, JD, what's a sentence that instantly raises your blood pressure?
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah. That one can raise the blood pressure.
Because it's like, I'm like, no, it is what you make it, you dumb dink, you know?
Thank you for censoring yourself, JD. Thank you.
Yeah, or I don't like, thank you for all we do.
Thank you
Thank you for all that you do for us.
Yeah, it's like, well, how about you just give me some more money?
Yeah, right? Well, that's a cop-out, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Oh, thanks for the thanks. That thanks is going to go a long way.
Thanks. Yeah, that's going to help me. Yeah, that's going to put macaroni and cheese on my table because I'm so poor. You know, that's going to do a lot, right?
Yeah. This isn't really a thread for Monday morning. Here's a bunch of sentences that are irritating. Everybody, let's think about them.
Yeah, right.
But
Anyway.
that's how I roll sometimes. Well, good to hear from you, JD.
Good to hear from you too. Maybe I'll call you later.
All right, I'm here. Unfortunately,
I know. I'm listening. Unfortunately. Talk to you later, bro.
All right, see you, man. Peace.
Peace.
K-Bear, are you live on the show? Keep that in mind. Who's this?
This is Ravonda.
Oh, Ravonda calling in. Ravonda, do you have a sentence that just instantly raises your blood pressure?
No, I just wanted to tell JD to F off.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Just kidding. I love you, JD.
All right. We got some feisty folks in the morning. That's funny.
Yeah. I'm gonna get him.
Well, good to hear from you, Ravonda.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Just call and attack JD for no reason. Oh, that's pretty funny. Okay, well, I'm glad that people are at least having a little fun this morning. That helped me out a little bit. I'm grumpy. It's Monday. I want to sleep and not hear no irritating sentences. But, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of the office is out today, so like I don't have to worry about irritating sentences from Jade or Josh or Peaches. It's going to be, pretty relaxing around here. I don't have to put up with anybody's crap. At least I don't think so. Maybe Justin's. I think Justin's about the only one in. So I've only got to put up with his crap. Not too bad. All right. It's 7 o'clock. Let's keep crushing this day. We got to get it over with. It'll be done before we know it. We can do it. We can get through. Monday. I was looking through the notes on my phone for, stuff to talk about. And one of the things that I wrote down at some point in the last week was Golden Slumber's Airbnb ad. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with this trilogy of songs from the Beatles. It was the final 3 tracks on Abbey Road, the final Beatles album. And Golden Slumbers is basically what ends the album. Great song. And I'm just trying to remember back. I'm like, what made me so mad about this commercial from Airbnb? And I have no idea. Like, maybe that song's just so powerful that it being an Airbnb ad seemed ridiculous. But I think I'd need to see the ad again to know what frustrated me about it, to the point that I would make a note. I need to rant and rave about this Airbnb ad featuring the Beatles' Golden Slumbers. No idea what my angle was there. Now, Haunted Clock, I do remember what that's about. Becca was scrolling Facebook Marketplace one day and found this grandfather clock that was, broken. It wasn't supposed to work, but it looked awesome, and it was for a really good price. So we're like, well, even if the clock doesn't work, this will be a sweet decoration, for the main floor of our house. So let's snag it up. Who cares if the clock don't work? So, pick it up, get it back to the house, and was like, well, let's just try putting some new batteries in it and see if it works. So put some batteries in, and lo and behold, the clock itself seems to be working. Like, all right, cool. Now, where it's a grandfather clock, it's not one of the ones that has, like, the stuff hanging down. It's not like, like a super crazy one or anything. It's got a digital, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like a tone. You know, a grandfather clock goes like dong, 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 dong. Okay. So it doesn't have actual bells in it or chimes or whatever they are. It's just got, a little speaker that will play the tones. And generally a grandfather clock, depending on what hour it is, it'll, chime that many times. Not this haunted clock. No rhyme or reason to the number of times that it will chime. And I don't know if there's some way to adjust this or something like that, but say it's 1 o'clock, it could, dong like 11 times. Then at 11 p.m., maybe it does it 2 times. There's just no rhyme or reason to it. However many times it feels like dinging, that's how many times it's gonna ding. And I tell you, I can hear this thing from my room, and I don't know. I like the fact that it's potentially a haunted clock, and I like that it has no rhyme or reason. It's chaos. It just dings as often as possible. But when I'm trying to get to sleep and then I hear it go off, I know that, okay, we've reached another new hour. And then I have no idea what time it actually is because I can't listen to the dong dong because it's guaranteed that the number of dongs isn't right. All right. Anyway, I still like the haunted clock. It looks cool, but it has been messing with me a little bit just when it comes to, I need to get sleep. And then I hear it go off again. Another hour's gone by. I don't know. It still looks awesome though. So it's cool. Maybe there is an adjustment for the chimes or whatever you're supposed to call them, but haunted clock. You never know what you're going to find on Facebook Marketplace. Need to find myself a haunted bookshelf that's the right shape, size, and color. That's what I need to find in Facebook Market now. Got a lot of books taking up a lot of space and making a lot of mess. And that would help clean up the house a little bit to get those organized. Well, my Reddit feed has been inundated by cat pictures, apparently. Are you familiar with author Ernest Hemingway? I'm sure you've heard of him. This guy was a cat maniac, all right? I've read about him before. They've got a couple different Hemingway museums. I think one is in Ketchum, where he passed away. The other one, what is it, in Florida? Anyway, this is the one that popped up on my feed. Let's go to, this is in Key West. Apparently at the Ernest Hemingway Home and Museum, they've got 60 six-toed cats. All right, now cats normally have 5 front toes and 4 back toes. About half of the cats at the Hemingway house, have the 6 toes. And I don't remember how many cats at a time Ernest Hemingway would have, but I don't know. Has anybody ever been to the Hemingway Museum in Florida? If there are 60 cats there, all right, that place has got to smell bad. All right. Been dealing with a lot of issues with cats in the last 6 months or so. They're getting better. Over the weekend, I installed some of those diffuser things to hopefully keep them from peeing on stuff. This territorial war going on between my cats. It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. But had to buy like a commercial grade carpet shampooer. Works great, but all of these cats, they just make me kind of crazy. I can't imagine having 60 of them roaming around. 4 of them crazy enough. Oh, geez. Anyway, people, I guess they just go to the Hemingway Museum and they take pictures of the cats breaking the rules and laying on the bed. They've got like chains around the bed, like, all right, nobody's sitting on the bed. But the cats, they do what they want. And the cats are part of the museum. They're just letting them breed? What's going on? You'd think they could tone it down a little bit. I mean, 60 seems excessive. Do they have cats at the Hemingway House in Ketchum? Let's see. Hemingway House, Ketchum. All right, let's see. You can go there, right? It would appear from a website called the Community Library. They talk about the Hemingway home in Ketchum, but I'm not seeing anything about cats. Maybe they're like, this is Idaho, we're dog people. Hemingway's cats you can get. I don't know. Might have to go check that out one of these days when I've got a big pile of cash and can afford a vacation in Ketchum. Probably during a nicer time of year as well. Yeah, I ain't going to go skiing. Give me a break. Well, I was reading up on ghost news. If you missed the recent ghost tour, looks like it's going to be a while till the band does anything again. Tobias Forge did an interview with my friend Full Metal Jackie over the weekend. I was just talking about the future of Ghost. Looks like he's going to be taking a little bit of a break. And I was saying, basically, for his own mental and physical health, he needs to be home. Been at it for 15 years. And when he talked about what he wants to do next, he used an analogy of Peter Jackson's films. Now, if you're not familiar with director Peter Jackson, I think he's best known for Lord of the Rings, doing the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit movies. Prior to those movies, he made these awesome low-budget horror movies. Bad Taste, Meet the Feebles, Dead Alive, a.k.a. Brain Dead. He was one of my favorite directors growing up. Used to have a website called The Bastards Have Landed, and it was just an online forum where fans hung out and would chat. You know, this is old school internet days, good old message board. And Peter Jackson would jump in and interact with fans on there. Then he became one of the biggest directors in the world, and yeah, that website went away. But it has been ages since Peter Jackson did anything that wasn't just ridiculous, big blockbuster stuff. He did Lord of the Rings, like I said, The Hobbit, did King Kong, did the Beatles movie thing that was on, I think it was on Disney Plus. Tobias Forge saying, what I'm doing right now would be kind of like if I went back and if I was Peter Jackson and I did some more Bad Taste-ish kind of stuff. And he referred to the early Ghost albums being like, Bad Taste or Dead Alive. The later Ghost albums being more like Lord of the Rings. So that could be pretty exciting, depending on what he decides to do. Maybe it'll be a brand new project, and then maybe you could go see Tobias Forge play in some small venues or something like that. I don't know. Who knows? But this just led me to want to state Peter Jackson really needs to go back and make Bad Taste Part 2. All right? I think he's got enough dough. He's, put himself into history as one of the greatest directors of all time. Supposed to be putting out the 4K remasters of Dead Alive and Bad Taste. Just come on, Bad Taste Part 2. Just have some fun. Put out something crazy. And if you've never seen his old horror movies, holy crap, you got to go back and watch them. They are so funny. They're so good. They are classic. I don't know if Becca's seen those movies. I'm going to have to ask her, but we're going to have to do the Peter Jackson trilogy of Bad Taste, Meet the Feebles, and Dead Alive whenever we can have some time to relax. And you should as well. All right. What is going on here? Just nothing crazy happened over the weekend? Jeez. All right, I guess I'll begin with, over the weekend, got to hang out with a country music star for, 45 minutes or so. That country music star was Ian Munsick. If you saw my other post, hanging out with Hardy in Idaho Falls, I know I'm a big jerk. That was not really Hardy, okay? A lot of people called that out and said, I don't believe that is Hardy. But some folks may have believed that I was hanging out with Hardy. No, that's just a local guy named Devin. And Becca thought it would be funny to post hanging out with Hardy in Idaho Falls. So jumped on the K-Bear and the Hawk page. Those posts were very popular over the weekend, but no, that was not Hardy. That was not Zach Bagans from Ghost Hunters. It was just Devin, but it was funny. Did hang out with the country star over the weekend a little bit, though. So, only a half truth. Let's see here. Got a guy, probably from Florida, who ran to McDonald's on his lunch break, and I guess they took a little bit of time to get him his food. Only had a few minutes left to get back to work, so rather than be late, he decided to drive about 130 miles per hour. Needless to say, he did not make it back to work on time, because the police don't like it when you do about 130 in a 50 mile per hour zone. So yeah, he's in jail. Yeah, he didn't make it back to work at all. Just be a few minutes late, okay? No need to put the public at risk. And then I'm sure, didn't even get to have his cheeseburger. Well, it's a bad day. Just a bad day for a guy like that. But he's an idiot. Okay, what else do we have here? Like I said, didn't seem to be a lot happening over the weekend as far as wacky news goes. More and more women choosing to stay single. There's an article stating why. I didn't read the whole thing, but I would imagine that it's because a lot of guys in the last, I'd say, 5 years have started taking advice from the wrong influencers online and are just acting like tools. Oh, they're trying to take away my masculinity. Rah, I can't be a man anymore. Like that country song we made fun of from Lee Bryce on the Noon Hour a couple times recently. It was during the Turning Point halftime show. Lee Bryce comes out and plays this just stupid song about how it's tough to be country anymore. And he's saying all the things he wants to do. Like, I just want to drive my truck. I just want to cut my grass. I just want to drink my beer. Oh, they're making it so hard to be country anymore. Like, dude, he didn't name a single thing in that song that anyone is, being prevented from doing in this day and age. Nobody, stopped me in my driveway this morning like, hey, is this a truck? What are you doing? Don't you realize you can't be country? You can't be a man anymore. You need to go get yourself a moped to take to work. Dudes, stop looking up to some of these online influencers, all right? You are not going to be able to keep a lady if you're just whining, just endlessly whining. But, when some of the biggest people in power in the world relentlessly whine and cry about being picked on nonstop, I think dudes, kind of pick up on that and go, oh, yeah, we're being picked on too. It's like, just stop being such crybabies. Man up, all right? Man up. Okay. Anyway, I'll dig into some of this other crap here in a few. I do have a few freak news stories up, just not as many as I would have hoped by this point on the show with the digging I've been doing. Anyhow, it's a little after 8. Hopefully we can have ourselves some fun today on the program. And hopefully we can just crush down this day, be done with it quick. Enough Monday already. I'll be right back. All right, I know we had a lot of folks head down to Salt Lake City yesterday for the Bad Omens show. If you shopped at Trader Joe's recently on a trip to Salt Lake, I guess I don't know if specifically Salt Lake was affected by this, but nearly 3.4 million pounds of frozen chicken fried rice from Trader Joe's have been recalled because of a broken glass hazard. All right, I'm hungry. Let's have ourselves some nice chicken fried rice. Oh, just broken glass. Now, these were sold at Trader Joe's stores in both America and Canada. They've got a certain number on them and certain best buy dates. So I don't expect you to memorize that kind of stuff. If you've recently purchased Trader Joe's chicken fried rice when you're out of town, Google this up and look at the numbers. You don't want to just mow down broken glass. I don't think that's very good for the old guts. But what do I know? Am I a doctor? I don't know. No, don't eat broken glass, people, okay? So check your freezers. Always good to be up on these food recalls. How do you get broken glass into chicken fried rice? Somebody not doing their job. Listen, if you're working somewhere where like food or beverages or anything people might consume is being prepared and you just smash a glass all over the place, you should really make sure you get that cleaned up good, okay? Should always clean up broken glass, even though I know it's annoying, you know? Depending on the time, it can be really aggravating when you have to deal with broken glass, but clean it up, all right? Well, it's Monday morning. I'm sure you're tired. How about 48 ounces of coffee? Jeez. Apparently, this was a Dunkin' Donuts. Well, I guess, is it just called Dunkin' now? They don't call it donuts anymore? Because most people just go there for coffee. I guess in limited stores, they launched a 48-ounce coffee bucket, and a lot of people got really mad that they weren't able to pick one of these up, before, only able to get a 24-ounce extra large. Man, that's a pretty good amount of coffee, too, but coffee buckets for $9, 48 ounces. That doesn't sound really, like healthy. Sounds like risky business to me. And that's from someone who, drinks a decent amount of caffeine to try to get myself through this show every day. I'm looking at a picture. I don't know. The buckets don't even look appetizing to me. They're just plastic see-through buckets. Sorry that you couldn't get one. Settle down. Go buy a 48-ounce bucket at the store and make your own. There you go. You bring it in, you're like, fill me up. Give me 48 ounces of your finest coffee. Yeah, I don't recommend you drinking 48 ounces of coffee, okay? Try to take it easy. It's not difficult to overdo it on caffeine. Trust me. Yo, people. Just a friendly, cheery reminder that coming up, I think it's on the 7th? Let's see here. On the 8th, the stupid time change is happening. Now, time to spring forward. Yay! Lose an hour. Because the government, for whatever reason, just can't do away with the time change. They can do anything else they want, but something that everyone can agree on, no matter what political side you're on, stopping the useless time change every 6 months, they just can't do it. It's impossible. So we have to deal with this. But we're trying to make it a little bit better by once again bringing back Make the Switch with Brent Gordon Law. We're giving away a Nintendo Switch 2 bundle so you can at least have some video games to play while you're dealing with this stupid time change. If you want to get in to win, sign up in any of our apps, the K-Bear app, the Cannonball app, the Alt 101 app, and then listen for the Mario sounder. It's pretty obvious, and it tells you to call now. When you hear that played, be caller number 20, and that will get you another entry into the drawing for the Nintendo Switch 2 bundle. If you can get through as caller number 20 multiple times, good for you. More entries. The more entries, the better your odds of taking home that Nintendo Switch 2 bundle that we're going to draw a winner for with Brent Gordon Law 1 week from Friday. So you've got plenty of time to sign up in the apps, but between now and 1 week from Friday, listen for me or Peaches to play that Mario sounder. Be caller number 20, get some extra entries into the drawing. It's Make the Switch with Brent Gordon Law, trying to make the stupid time change just a little bit nicer for one of you. Well, I shouldn't have to say this, but don't plot a murder. It's just not cool, all right? Don't do it. Don't plot a murder. And especially don't use ChatGPT to plot a murder. Again, just don't do it. But if you use ChatGPT, be aware, ChatGPT remembers everything you say. All right? It holds on to all of your conversations. And so if you end up killing a couple people and the police start investigating, OpenAI is one of the platforms they might, just do some looking around on. This woman in South Korea apparently used ChatGPT to try to, well, I guess she successfully plotted a couple murders looking at what type of drugs combined with alcohol would have the most deadly results. They should probably do some things with ChatGPT to, she worked around the system by asking about the dangers of this as if, she was asking medical questions. But, then when a couple dudes show up dead from the same, cocktail, they're going to start looking into, okay, who might know these people? So, thankfully, she's in jail. I guess one of the guys lived. That's good. I don't know. She must have been trying to take multiple people out. Anyway, glad they caught her. But yeah, just be aware. There are cameras everywhere. The internet's tracking everything you do. Your phone is a tracking device. You're not going to get away with it. Just stop already. All right? Stop with the violence. It's no good. All right? Go talk to a counselor. Let's do the new Ice Nine Kills song. This is going to appear in the end credits of the new Scream movie, which is dropping on Friday. Song's called, speaking of murder, Twisting the Knife. I'm sure you hear me complain a lot about how I'm tired and I want to get more sleep. Well, nothing worse than getting unexpectedly woke up when you just want to be sleeping, right? Well, I guess it depends how you get woke up. Somebody turns the light on or, hollers at you, come on, wake up, shakes you a little bit. Not too bad. Beating you in the head with a frying pan, though, no way to wake up. Even if it is a naked woman beating you with the frying pan. This guy in Australia, I guess his brother's girlfriend, she was a little bit intoxicated and also high on meth. Yeah, I guess this guy's just sleeping away, and brother's girlfriend comes in naked, starts cracking him in the head with a frying pan, and she's also holding a knife. That's not a good way to wake up. Oh, the alarm clock's bad enough. The guy's okay. She doesn't remember much of the event. She ended up going to jail, of course. Because even if it's your brother's girlfriend, someone has a knife and is beating you with a frying pan, you should probably call the cops. Then she got in a fight with the cops, and she was a bit of a mess. The alarm clock this morning, it annoyed me. But it wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad, okay? Wasn't a frying pan to the head. So, I'm not complaining too bad. Well, I hope your morning is going well. I hope it's going by quickly. Let's crush Monday. Let's get it over with so we can get ready for Tuesday. Can't believe we got a full week ahead. That weekend was way too fast. Way too fast. But again, at least I didn't awaken to a frying pan to the head. So I guess for a Monday, it ain't too shabby. Well, I was reading this article about this couple from, it doesn't really matter where they were from. They were from elsewhere. They were from the UK or something. And decided to take a trip to the US while this woman in the couple was pregnant. So she was about 2 months from being due. Figured, all right, no big deal. We'll get some travel insurance anyhow, just in case something happens and we have to, go to the hospital in America. We'll get some travel insurance and we'll be fine. Well, they got stuck with a $200,000 bill when all of a sudden, baby born prematurely in the U.S., and then the insurance company was trying to, like insurance companies do, not pay out. And they're like, what are we going to do? We ain't got $200,000. Well, after a 9-month legal battle, the insurance company did end up having to pay up. But it got me thinking, with how expensive healthcare is here in the U.S., like if you are pregnant and you don't have insurance of any sort, and you're looking at really hefty bills, couldn't you like plot a vacation to, Canada or one of these other places where medical care is fully covered, and let's just go to Canada for a month? Do you think you could get away with it? I don't know how that would work. I only know the reverse right here, where, you don't want to go to a country where you got to pay, or it's, that's going to be a hefty bill. You got $200,000 floating around? I know I don't. So I don't know if that's a tip, if that's an unethical life pro tip to, if you're pregnant, or, maybe you think you're going to end up needing some type of medical care. It could be expensive to pay for the hotel, but it's got to be cheaper than a $200,000 bill, right? I don't know. Just letting you know, some ideas here. Every dollar counts in these rough times. Anything you can do to save a little bit, and go visit somewhere new. It could work out. I don't know if it's gonna, though. Well, even after a weekend of news building up, I have just been having to just dig and dig and dig and dig for crap to talk about today for some reason. Nothing funny happened over the weekend, apparently, that I haven't already gone over. So I end up at places like NPR.org. And I'm like, what am I doing here? Looking at a photo gallery called Your Car Has a Lot to Say About Who You Are. And most of these photos here are from other countries, and people get pretty wild with their vehicles. Might be kind of an inspirational thing for you to check out. Here's a guy in, I don't know, it's like a smart car. It's a little tiny car, and he's got a garden growing on top of it. He's just showing it off. Purple smart car with, I don't know what those are, some types of herbs and spices. I don't know, it's different, it's unique. And then you've got, some of these like little taxi buses that are all decorated with cool artwork on the sides and stuff. People need to get a little bit more exciting with their vehicle decorations around here. A lot of people in other countries going all out with the paint. Around here, you just see, maybe some stickers. And by the way, I know this might irritate some people, but you got to keep your stickers, like, current, all right? I was driving around the other day, and somebody still had across their whole back windshield, "Let's go, Brandon." It's like, all right, guys, time has passed, okay? Now you're just talking about, an old man who's dealing with cancer treatment. You got to get some new stickers, okay? Whatever they might be, just change them up a little bit. Maybe pull up this gallery at, again, npr.org, and take a look at some of these wacky decorations people have going on their vehicles. They're just, in general, a little bit more fun than I see around here. I don't know. I'm not really one to speak. I don't have any kind of fun decorations on my truck, but I also can't afford to get wacky with the paint job right now. If anybody's bored and you have an auto body shop and you just want to paint, so let me know. Sure. Okay. Hopefully I can find one more break to end this show. And then, I got so much to do today. It's a Monday. Yuck. But at least it's nice and quiet around here. A lot of people out of the office, so I should have some extra time to get said things done. We'll see how it goes. Wish me luck. This is the noon hour of madness and mayhem. Viktor Wilt Show edition. Just me here today. Well, everybody else apparently went to Bad Omens. And like logical people, stayed the night in Salt Lake. Nothing like driving back from Salt Lake after a show and then trying to be to work in the morning. Ugh. I think the last time I did that was Parkway Drive at, where were they at? This was before they really blew up. I don't remember. It was at some kind of venue in Salt Lake. And, it was just brutal getting back and coming to work the next day. So, yeah, pretty quiet around the office today. Not a lot of people here. And I'm just going to do my best to bring you some kind of lunch hour program that doesn't suck too bad. One thing that sucks is my Facebook feed. I would imagine yours does as well. I mean, for one, it's been glitching and kind of crazy, but the sheer amount of just made up stories that are popping up on my feed today and getting shared all over the place. It's like, people, you got to go to Google News and see if these stories are being shared elsewhere. Saw 2 different Aussie stories that were interesting, but they were just completely made up. The first one was that Ozzy's daughter, Amy, who wasn't on the Osbourne show, but is a member of the family. She just stayed out of the limelight. That she had decided to take the stage with Paul McCartney and do a heartwarming rendition of Mama, I'm Coming Home, and just completely, shattered everybody in the crowd. Completely made up. Never happened. And then there was another one about Black Sabbath, the remaining members, suddenly putting out a new song with another one of Ozzy's family members. I don't even know if that person was real because I'd never heard their name. Do some Googling on Black Sabbath. No. There's nothing out there about this. And a lot of times when you Google these things, the Google AI will have seen these stories on Facebook, and so it'll tell you they're true. But you go to news, and there are no news outlets reporting on these things. So, just a reminder to question everything. People can post anything on social media, and again, these were getting shared all over the place, going viral, and not a shred of truth to them. And you would think, I don't know, the people in the comments were like, it was beautiful. It's like, are these all bots? Are these all AI people? Are we just, from now on, going to be inundated with completely made up information? So, nobody has any idea what reality is anymore? It appears that way. I mean, it was already a problem when it came to politics, but now we got to deal with it with just stories about music? Really? This is what we have to put up with? The world in 2026. And with the rise of AI, boy, it's going to be fun in the next few years. All right, maybe I need some more coffee. Just thinking about those stories melted my brain and made me want to take a nap. But don't worry, I won't take a nap. I'll be back with more stuff. Just if you see those stories about Ozzy and Sabbath, sorry, they're not true. Okay, we can just do a whole noon hour, apparently, on fake news stories about rock stars. If you weren't listening a few minutes ago, I was talking about these 2 different stories about Ozzy and Black Sabbath that popped up on my Facebook feed. I get right back on Facebook after, doing that last break and immediately see a post from New Metal Legacy. The moment Jonathan Davis silenced The View. Like, yeah, did you know Jonathan Davis was on The View? He wasn't, okay? He wasn't. But apparently, according to this article, one of the hosts just threw out talking about Jonathan Davis. He's just an aging rock clown. And then the table laughed, poking fun at him. Blah, 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 blah. He's just loud music and teenage angst that never grew up. Jonathan didn't laugh. He didn't shift in his chair. He simply reached into his jacket and pulled out a small weathered journal, the kind he's long used to write lyrics, reflections, and notes to fans struggling with trauma, addiction, and loss. He placed it gently on the table. Then he looked directly at the host and said, "I sang at your friend's memorial." Silence detonated across the studio. And then it just goes on and on and on and on. As far as I could tell, this never happened. This never happened. But if you Google it, if you just Google it, then you're going to get the results from New Metal Legacy, as well as, some kind of Instagram post. And none of this ever happened. None of this ever happened. All right? That was the first post I saw on social media. So I guess whoever made it, just trying to make The View look bad, because some people don't like The View, They're like, yeah, Jonathan Davis was mocked on national television, but he didn't lash out. He just let the truth sit there. Oh, and within hours, the clip spread across social media. No, it didn't. No, it didn't, because it didn't happen. This is so crazy. I mean, you would think these sites would get shut down for just making up stuff. You know, this is fan fiction. Jonathan Davis fan fiction. And then you look through the comments and nobody seems to look these things up to see if they're true. They just like them and share them and comment on them. Well, let's see if I can find more of these. Otherwise, I'll talk about something else here in a few, but it's just gotten ridiculous. It's the noon hour of madness and mayhem. Viktor Wilt Show edition. Well, there's nobody here. Nobody in the building to hang out with me. All right. I haven't stumbled across any more rock star fake news yet, but I did find a story out of Salt Lake. Figure we could dive into. Dudes, this is not how you date, okay? Police say they arrested a man in Salt Lake for going into a woman's apartment in the middle of the night, armed with an axe, and saying he'd been admiring her from afar. Chadwell Clement Smith. Maybe this is what happens when you name your kids Chadwell. It's a terrible name. Anyway, 34 years old, arrested on suspicion of burglary, kidnapping, possession of a controlled substance, and prohibited possession of a dangerous weapon. An elderly woman woke up around 2 a.m. to let her dog out and also use the restroom. Then she hears someone say, hello, at her front door, which she had left slightly open because, the dog was outside. So then she sees this guy in there with an axe. And then he hugged her, told her to sit down, and started rubbing her legs and feet. She said she didn't want this and was scared. And he's like, I've been watching and loving you for the past 6 months and wanted to ask you out. Then he went into the bathroom and took a shower. So while he's doing that, she calls the cops. They show up, and he's like, sorry, when I saw her door open, I thought this was my shot. Said he carried the axe, to defend himself. Dudes, don't be a bunch of creeps. My goodness. All right? I don't know, when you're meeting someone random in public, the best way to go about introducing yourself, but watching them and going to their home, and especially carrying an axe. I don't think you're going to get the date. Yeah, you're just going to go to jail. Thankfully, everybody's fine, but my goodness, this is a Salt Lake story. Not even a Florida man. Keep it together, dudes. Jeez. Hey, yo, it's Victor. Just want to remind you before I get out of here that we're doing everything we can to make the time change better again. Stupid time change. That's coming up in about 2 weeks. So we teamed up with Brent Gordon Law yet again for Make the Switch, giving away a Nintendo Switch 2 bundle. It could be yours. We know the time change sucks, so video games are always good, right? You want to enter to win? It's easy. Sign up in any of our apps, the K-Bear app, the Cannonball app, the Alt app, or listen for the Mario sounder. If you hear us play that, be caller number 20. We'll get you an extra entry into the drawing. And you can try to be caller number 20 as many times as you want. The more entries, the better your odds of taking home the Nintendo Switch 2 bundle that we're going to give away 1 week from Friday. So plenty of time to enter in the apps, but plenty of time to be listening for that Mario sounder and hopefully become a winner with Make the Switch with Brent Gordon Law, Nintendo Switch 2 bundle up for grabs. All right, I'm going to get out of here, go get myself some lunch, come back, do some boring stuff, and then I will be back in the morning, crack of dawn, as always, for the Viktor Wilt Show. Peaches has some kind of pre-recorded pet party coming up. He'll be back tomorrow. So, yeah, everything should be back to normal tomorrow. But I appreciate you hanging out with me today, and I hope the rest of your Monday goes great. Let's crush the rest of it and be done and get home and relax, right? Yeah. Thank you again for tuning in to the Viktor Wilt Show. This program is a production of Riverbend Media Group. To contact the show or for more information, hit us up at riverbendmediagroup.com.